What's going on, everybody? Respawn Gentleman here. So Techland just released the patch notes for the 1.4 patch. Now the patch does not come out until tomorrow, so if you're watching this before the 14th, you won't have the patch just yet. But let's get right into this and see everything they're adding to the game. So the first thing they talk about on here is the new chapter that they're kind of going with, this new chapter system. It's called In the Footsteps of a Night Runner, and the features of this: you get a chapter agent. It says you meet Harper, a former Night Runner that acts as your link to the new features. Find him at the Fisheye Canteen and assist him in taking down the infected. So this is the guy you're going to be looking for. The other things it says on here: you get a new rank system. It says discover a system that strengthens the bond between you and the agent by carrying out his tasks. You get daily and weekly bounties. It says face the infected head on in a series of daily and weekly night activities that will earn you reputation points upon completion. You also get some unlockables. With enough reputation points, you can rank up to unlock access to high-end weapons, outfits, and consumables. So I'm wondering if that's going to include legendary or if it's just going to be artifact weapons and gear. We'll have to wait and see tomorrow and find out. We got two new currencies. This is to purchase these new items, you'll first need to collect mutation samples off the corpses of the special infected and acquire unique Harper's tokens with each new rank. So basically you'll be looting the bodies after you kill the infected, and then every time you rank up with him, then he'll give you some coins or whatever, and then you use that to purchase the unlockables. Then they talk about new enemies, which include the Volatile Tyrant and the Volatile Hive. Now, I don't know if the Hive is going to be similar to like the hives from Dying Light 1, or if it's going to end up being like a walking hive or something like that. I don't really understand how that's going to be just yet. The Volatile Tyrant sounds terrifying, but also super exciting. I can't wait to see what that's going to be like. Then they talk about the chapter mission, which in here shows that it's going to be some time trials to test your stealth, parkour, and combat skills. So I'm assuming by completing this chapter mission probably multiple times will help you kind of rank up and stuff like that. And you have your daily and weekly bounties. I feel like there's going to be a ton of content added with this, a lot of stuff to do. It's going to be repeatable, and I think it's going to be absolutely fantastic. My thinking is, based off of the way this is described, I think it's going to end up being where the chapter agent is kind of always there, and when a new chapter starts, then you can go do that chapter agent stuff. And so as they add more chapters, you'll end up having multiple people to go to, which will increase the amount of daily and weekly things that you need to do, which gives it more content for you to have, and not just an end game where there's nothing to do. So I find this absolutely fantastic. I can't wait till this comes out tomorrow. I want to jump in this, check it all out. It's going to be absolutely amazing. So next they talk about photo mode, and I'm so excited about this. I love when games have photo modes. Now this is only going to be available while playing in single player mode. If you're playing multiplayer, you're not going to be able to do photo mode. So just keep that in mind. But here's some of the things that they talk about you'll be able to do. You've got multiple camera manipulation options, like you can change the aperture, the focus distance, the zoom, the roll, all kinds of stuff. I think you have free range of the camera, so you can kind of move it wherever you want it to go. You can do color adjustments like temperature, exposure, saturation, contrast, vignette. You can add filters. There's a lot of details being put into this. There's also gonna be some special effects that will let you kind of do certain different things, which is really cool. They actually had a video that they posted about this, which I'll link that in the description if you want to check out kind of what they talked about. But they kind of seemed to mention in that video that they may at some point, I don't think it's going to be available at launch, but it sounds like they're going to be adding like a day and night cycle, so you can actually change the time of the day for the actual photo itself, and then maybe also change the weather effects to kind of really get that desired photo that you want. So that might be coming in the future. Like I said, based on the way they were talking about it, I don't think it's actually included with the photo mode at launch. So now that we get into the actual patch notes portion of things that were fixed and things like that, so I'm only going to cover a little bit in each section. If you want to check out the full thing, I'll leave the patch notes in the description below so you can check out and read everything. But one of the main things I see on here that's absolutely amazing, it got me the most excited, was this first line right here. It says, fixed the dust presence in the city after completing the game. The only affected terrain will be around the TV station area. This is absolutely amazing. This is something that's been a problem since day one. There's fog all over the map that shouldn't be there. It does kind of clear out a little bit after a while, but it's still present sometimes, and it's kind of really annoying. So it's finally going to be only in the areas where the smoke is happening, which is around the TV station. So nowhere else on the map. Is absolutely fantastic. I love it. Another thing they talk about on here is that they fixed an issue that causes volatiles and virals to not be affected by UV flashlight. I actually came across that a couple times myself, and it's super annoying when you're trying to get away from them and they're like, nah. So that is fixed for anybody that had that problem now. So a couple other things they mentioned on here is that the Markers of Plague quest, a place to call home quest, and the only way out. Basically, there were some issues in those missions that were causing people to not be able to progress the game. So those should be fixed. So if you've had any of those problems, you shouldn't have them anymore. So this next one's actually really great. It says fix an issue where an encounter spawn was too crowded for a place of combat. I have come across that a bunch of times. There's like just too many things happening, and it made it like extremely difficult, or it would cause the encounter to despawn. And like having that fixed is fantastic. Now, this next part, they say that the special infected are now harder to kill with ranged weapons, which is, I'm not a giant fan of this one because it already took a lot of shots to take them down anyway. So I don't feel like that was completely necessary, especially as a level 9. I get like, you know, before you reach level 9 and you're in the end game, then, you know, I can understand that. But once you're at the end game and you're at level 9, then yeah, this is kind of weird. It doesn't seem to make sense to me personally. And this one is absolutely huge. This was technically supposed to be fixed in the last patch, but now it's supposed to be officially fixed. It's fixed the issue where players could not use the bed and the in-game time was frozen. I did hear people still having that problem after the last patch. So please let me know in the comments below if you're still having the frozen time after the update is released, because hopefully they actually fixed it this time. But please let me know if they didn't, because that's a really big problem for a lot of people. So for the co-op updates, a couple things I want to mention on here is this first one where they improved co-op stability when joining a game on PlayStation. So if you were having some kind of issues with that on PlayStation, that should be good to go now. And then another one they talk about on here is fix the black screen issue when playing with friends on console versions of the game. So like I said, I haven't experienced a lot of these co-op issues because I don't play a lot of co-op, to be honest, but all these issues should be resolved. I don't know how co-op is. Please let me know also in the comments if you're still having some massive co-op issues, and let me know what those are. So next, they made some UI and UX fixes. The only one on here that I think really kind of matters the most is this one at the very bottom. It says players are now able to compare items in the inventory. This is absolutely huge, because I found it super annoying trying to see, you know, the stats of one weapon or one piece of gear and having to flip back and forth between the two and just remember what the other one looked like. So now that you can compare items, this is absolutely amazing. I have wanted this for a while, and now we have it. So the last thing to talk about on here are some technical updates. Kind of a big one, I think, is going to be like this improved CPU performance for PlayStation, or like the FPS drops on PlayStation. Like basically this is kind of more along the lines of console fixes. I mean, there's these two PC ones at the bottom, but for the most part, it's just kind of stability things that they fixed. But what's got me kind of curious here is this 1491 other minor fixes. Techland's been doing this with every update. They always have these shadow fixes, which basically they don't tell anybody what they are. You just happen to have to find out. And I really wish we knew what these other ones are. Yes, it would make the patch notes unbelievably huge, but I think knowing what those other, you know, almost 1,500 fixes, you know, it'd be really good to know what those are, because it may be fixing some issues that people have been having with for a long time, and, you know, nobody says anything. So we'll have to wait and see. So if you find anything that wasn't working before, or some glitch that's fixed now that wasn't mentioned in the patch notes, then please let me know in the comments, because I'm really curious to see if there's any of that that could be tied to this almost 1,500 other fixes. If you enjoyed this video and you want to see more Dying Light content, make sure to like and subscribe. I want to do a special thanks to all of my supporters. You guys are absolutely amazing. Thank you so much. Thanks for watching. See you guys next time.